Hello, fellow flamenco enthusiasts, and welcome to Everything Flamenco. I'm your host, La Hugo, and we are at the last episode of the year, episode 34. And since it is now just after Christmas and just before New Year, I thought it would be a good idea to reflect on flamenco for the year. And I'm very happy to also say that we have some input from very special guests. So I hope you will enjoy this episode. To end off a beautiful year of flamenco, I thought it would be a good idea to ask some of my fellow flamenco dancers what their best flamenco memory is for the year. Now, it sounds like a very simple question, and when I initially reached out to everybody, I thought that it was a very simple question, not even thinking about how I would answer it. And also, this episode is not going to be about me at all. I sometimes weave in a little bit of my own life, but I really want to reflect on flamenco for the year and what it's meant for other people. So I never really thought about the question and how deep the question actually is. So I reached out to quite a few of my fellow flamenco dancers, and I'm very privileged to be able to give you sound bites from a few. And then also I'll read some feedback from others. And then there are some that I think it was just too hard a question to answer. And again, it comes back to how you don't always really know what people are going through and how difficult life can be and what flamenco really means to people in day-to-day life. So before I get to those beautiful reflections of flamenco on the year, I just want to get into it a little bit about how flamenco really is so much more than steps and why it really affects people so much in an emotional way. This episode might end up not being a normal length of 20 or so odd minutes. I really just want it to be a very beautiful reflection on the year that has been. And I want to just lead you down the path of what really it means to learn flamenco and why is flamenco so special for people. Learning flamenco might seem so simple. You watch the dancers perform on stage and on videos and things like that, and you always think, oh, I really want to do that. But when you start as a student, you sometimes get overwhelmed because flamenco is so much more than just learning the steps. Flamenco is really a way of life, and that is a dance where I've mentioned before, where you really give something of yourself and you really learn how to use your body to express what you are feeling inside, not only the palo that you are dancing. Because many of us probably started out not even realizing how deep flamenco really goes and that it is so much more than just learning steps, learning arm movements, how to position your body correctly, how to turn. It's so much more than that. And to understand that is also to understand what flamenco culture really is. So if you listen to the previous episode about villancicos and flamenco, it also touches on how flamenco is really lived in everyday life in Spain, in certain regions, and how in those regions where flamenco is really prevalent, that I sometimes joke to say that the children there are born already with flamenco shoes on. They are born in the palos of flamenco. It's everything that they know and it comes so naturally to them. So for us, payos, non-gypsy dancers, or even those that are not from Spain. It's something that we need to learn. We need to learn the palos, where these individuals, they are born with those rhythms and they dance for themselves. And flamenco is a dance of the people. The steps are ingrained in them, and the emotions are conveyed with the way that they dance. Flamenco was born in the street. It was born in families. It was born in groups of friends. And it's a way of life. And the whole family would be involved. I mean, the father would play the guitar, mom would sing or also dance, the girls would dance. They don't even wear shoes, they go barefoot, dance in the dust. And it was just what it was. It was just a way, it is a way of life. They don't get trained, it's just experience and a way of life. And then with that goes the feelings and the history of the families and whatever they are going through at the moment. And because of that, flamenco is really very personal. It's not, it's got its structures, yes, it does, but it's so much more than just a dance. There's not one attitude. It's very personal. It's very individual, and because of that, I think the way that we learn flamenco, it's really a special kind of person that learns how to dance flamenco and that really gets attracted to this art form. And because of that, we get so emotionally invested. And I think when we dance, because we spend so much time together and we really grow together as a flamenco family, we create our own flamenco family. We in Spain, it's blood family, but like here in South Africa, for example, all the people that I dance with in our school, they are my family. We've danced together for so many years, and even though we don't always share everything that's happening in our lives, it really is an emotional experience. And when you've practiced so hard and you do performances together, you really transcend as a group. And also doing workshops where you push yourself, you always push yourself, or you're being pushed by your teachers, and it's just the community and everything. It's really a deeply, deeply personal and emotional experience. And that's what I didn't really think of when I initially posed the questions to my fellow flamenco souls about what was your best flamenco memory for the year, because many of them couldn't pin it down to just one thing. And some of them said to me, look, this is just too deep of a question. I cannot get into it. I really want to, but it's too much for me right now. And I respect that so much. So a deep, deep, heartfelt thank you to every person that really put themselves out there to answer the question for this episode. And I'm going to first read what I feedback that I got from some of my fellow flamenco dancers, and then I'm going to play some clips from others. And to all of you, thank you so much for your input. I hope I can extend it to some of my other flamenco dancers as well. I initially just reached out to a few people, didn't want to make the episode too long, but like I said, didn't realize that it was going to be such a deep question. So firstly, I just want to make some comments. So when a group of us got together just to end off the year, our director also posed a question to the students, like, what is your best flamenco memory of the year? And I didn't feel that it would be appropriate to record everybody. It was quite an emotional experience with everybody together. But I think what came out the most was the sacrifices that the teachers made to teach at the school, because at our school, both teachers have other daytime jobs as well. So really the sacrifices that they made or make to teach. That was really much appreciated. And on top of that, also this year, getting all the schools in the Western Cape together to collaborate, connecting with other flamenco dancers at schools, getting workshops, learning from other teachers. And then the other thing that also was quite prevalent was the sense of community and togetherness and support when we did shows, just the backstage camaraderie, helping each other with steps, helping with makeup, helping with clothing, just having that general sense of togetherness and support was the feedback that came out from most. And how everybody really has grown this year, especially this year. It was really a year of growth. So that was some general reflections. And now I'm going to read some beautiful feedback from two of my flamenco soul dance friends. I never asked if these posts should be anonymous or not, so I'm going to keep it anonymous. Just to focus on the beautifulness of these messages. Gosh, you guys, I was really in tears when I read these messages and listened to the sound clips that I got from people. It was really beautiful. So one of my fellow flamenco dancers said, my most flamenco memory of this year has undoubtedly been the workshops. I have deeper memories with the art of flamenco, but the highlight for me has been the workshops. Through them, I was able to see my classmates again, admire their progress, and catch up on their lives. Additionally, on a personal level, I've learned so much and discovered new styles that have been very challenging. For 2025, I would love to do flamenco like before, but if I can't, knowing that I will still be able to attend workshops makes me happy. A kiss to my flamenco friends. How beautiful is that? Thank you so much to my friend for sending that beautiful message. And I know she's had a challenging time. She's got a young little boy, so life doesn't always allow her to come to classes. But the workshops that happen now and then, it really offers her an opportunity to do so and still dance flamenco. So beautiful message. Thank you. The next message comes from someone that has the most beautiful classic style. She's a beautiful person inside and out, and she hasn't been able to dance for a very, very long time because of life and also distance. But here's her message. So when I was contacted at the start of 2024 to rejoin the company, I had no idea what a lifeline it would become throughout the year. Personally, 2024 turned out to be one of the most challenging and emotionally taxing years of my life. Flamenco became my sanctuary. It offered me a space where I could pour my emotions into each movement, escape the hardships, and focus entirely on the intricate rhythms and flow of the music. It allowed me to reconnect with myself, finding joy and peace in the art of expression. The highlight of the year was undoubtedly the incredible connection we shared every time we danced together. It felt as though we fueled and energized one another through our movements, creating something truly special. This sense of togetherness stood out above all else. We embraced and respected each other's unique styles, learning and growing together in ways that made the journey even more enriching. How beautiful is that? Being able to reconnect again with your flamenco family after all these years, and in a year that has been very challenging. Again, coming back to not always knowing what challenges people face. So thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing this beautiful message. And now we're going to go over to three of my fellow flamenco dancer friends, souls. that were brave enough to send me voice clips, sound clips, and I really hope that you enjoy it. It's also just lovely to hear their voices and bring it over to the podcast. So the first one is from our very, very beautiful inside and out viola player. She has been such a great support to all of us during the year, especially with the challenges of our director passing away a few years ago and having to keep the school alive. She's really been our rock. So thank you for sharing your thoughts of the year with us. Really excited to play this clip.
My best flamenco memory from this year is a journey of perseverance and joy. The year began with health challenges. I couldn't play viola fully. I had some recovering from frozen shoulder. And eventually I joined the Bulgaria class, limping on my painful hip. Despite this, B encouraged me to participate in the studio concert. And guess what? I did it. We all did it. Bravo, girls. It was a fantastic experience, and I'm so proud of the work we accomplished. Bravo. Bravo, maestra. Later, Ray Dawn took over the studio, bringing her big heart and vision. She opened doors to maestras from other flamenco schools, creating a beautiful space for collective workshops and connections. And finally, a special moment that stands out was after one of the company's shows. My husband gave me the ultimate compliment. He said to me, "I've never heard you play so beautifully." That meant a word to me. That's how was this year. Great year. Thank you for having me.
The next one is also from someone that's close to my heart, someone that has really grown so much, especially also over the past year. And she's always so much fun. And you will probably hear that in her clip reflecting on the year. So let's have a listen.
Hello, flamenco enthusiasts. I'm so excited that I can be part of this podcast. I'm so glad that I was asked to share my favorite flamenco memory of this year. It was a great year of growth. I learned a lot. This year, when I was asked to be part of the company, a lifelong dream. I love performing and I love these women. And so, flamenco just means everything to me. Oh, you asked for one favorite memory of this year, and I'm sorry, I'm going to mention two because being part of the company is definitely takes the cake. It's number one. But then with the Cape Town Flamenco Collective initiative, it's just amazing that we as dancers get the opportunity to learn from other instructors and to add that to your wheelhouse, to add that to your repertoire. And I think that this is just so amazing. So, yes, that's my favorite memory of this year is definitely being able to do the workshops and being able to learn from different artists and to be able to add that to my repertoire. And it really makes you a fully fleshed, grounded dancer when you can do different styles. And if you can try and master, yes, there's different styles and technique. It's just very beautiful. It opened my eyes and it made me appreciate this art form so much more and ignited something in me and inspired me to work harder and learn more about the history and the roots of flamenco and Spanish dance and its different regions and folk dances. It really has. And honoring in where it comes from and what its message is. So yes, Thank you that I could share this. And I'm excited to hear everybody else's favorite memories of this year. And yes, keep on dancing.
And last but definitely not least is a fellow flamenco soul that has had an enormously challenging year. She's my friend that traveled to India. I mentioned it in the previous episode. And she took time. I think you will hear some trains in the background. She was still traveling when she sent me this message. So, very, very happy to share this with you as well.
So, my favorite flamenco memory of this year is kind of like a combination of two memories in one. In March, we had a show which was a big deal to me. And in that show, I felt like I found my voice. And that was so important to me because after that show, I left flamenco for a while because I went traveling. And I felt that I needed that show to be brave enough to go traveling. And the other section of it is when I was traveling, when I was in Nepal, I met a woman who lives in Spain, and I told her that I am a flamenco dancer, which I always kind of feel like, oh, can I even say that? But I did. And she got so excited and she looked at me and she was like, oh my gosh, please show me your flamenco face. And I remember thinking, oh, I have one photo from the show from the moment I felt that I found my voice. And I showed her the photo and she loved it so much. And there were other people there and they asked, what do you mean? What do you mean flamenco face? Like, what does that mean? And then she proceeded to explain like the intensity of watching flamenco dancers and that like how engrossed dancers get in the moment that their face is so serious and so intense and it draws you in so much. And I absolutely loved sitting there listening to her talk about this intensity, but then also having her look at this photo from the show and go, that's it, that's your flamenco face.
What a beautiful reflection on the year. I didn't think that it was going to be so deep and emotional, but it is beautiful in every single way. And again, thank you very much to everybody that shared. And it really comes down to, again, flamenco is so much more than steps and music. It's really in you. It's within you. Your internal rhythm, the way your heart beats, the way you breathe, the way you move, and really connecting with the people around you. And I hope that that is something that we can continue into 2025. Looking forward to many more episodes with everyone. I never thought that when I started this podcast that I would still be doing it after 6 months. It's been a beautiful journey with you all, and I thank you, and looking forward to 2025 and lots more flamenco. Ole!